What's going on, guys? The MercilessGhostie back again. Now that I've seen and reviewed all the Scream movies, it's time to rank them, of course, because what would be reviewing the whole series without a ranking video? I'm not going to go too in-depth on the movies because I just did that in my review, so if you want to know my particular thoughts on any particular movie, just go check out my review. I'll give some brief thoughts, give my ranking, and then keep it rolling. There's going to be more Ghostface content coming soon. I know I've kind of strayed away from a lot of Ghostface content outside of the Scream movies over the past couple weeks or so. Kind of dabbling into other things. But I'm going to be getting back to more Ghostface content coming up. Especially Dead by Daylight Ghostface play and Ghostface videos. That being said, let's get into the ranking. Starting right off the bat with the worst of the Scream franchise for me is Scream 3. I don't know what else to say. I really didn't like this movie. But with that being said, the Scream franchise is probably the most consistent of any slasher franchise in terms of quality of movie. If Scream 3 is the worst you can do in a franchise, then you got some first world problems, I gotta say. When I get into my favorite slasher series later on this year, well, you will see there are far worse entries in that series than Scream 3. But had a great opening. Outside of killing the best character in the second movie off in the first 10 minutes, other than that, there really wasn't much else to this. I didn't really like Sydney in this movie and how she just sits in a chair through most of the movie outside of two sequences of action. Dewey, Gale were misses for me in this one. The whole reveal of Sydney has a brother and he's the killer, and the whole backstory with their mother was uninteresting and boring. I did not like the movie. The side characters weren't good. It feels like an early 2000s slasher movie. It is an early 2000s slasher movie. Slasher movies were not doing so well back then, so yeah, number 5 for me, Scream 3. Number 4 is going to be Scream 2. There are some things to like about this movie, but overall it just feels like an extremely watered down version of the first one. It has a great cast. David Arquette just feels like a more slower version of his character. Courtney Cox, same thing. Sydney, same thing. Randy Jamie Kennedy feels kind of dull in this movie. Doesn't feel as Randy-ish in this one. He just kind of feels like Jamie Kennedy playing Jamie Kennedy. I did like the development of Liev Schreiber's character of Cotton Weary. That was my favorite part of the movie. Some nice moments sprinkled in. A decent continuation of the first movie. But overall just felt like a more watered down version of the first one for me. It had so much potential that missed. Oh, so that's why it's going to sit here at number 4. Okay, the top 3. I can watch all 3 of these movies at any time and get enjoyment out of them. These are by far I think there's a big quality gap between those 2 and these 3, in my personal opinion. Everybody's going to have a different list. Film is subjective. Let's keep that in mind. I think the 2 and 3 are going to be pretty interchangeable depending on my mood on the day. I think number 1 is a little bit higher than those 2, but not by a lot. But my number 3 is going to be Scream 2022. Scream 5. Or Scream, or whatever the hell you want to call this movie. I overall had a good time with it. It was a fun overall experience. I like some of the new side characters. I like the sisters and the sort of twist that sort of the main girl is Billy Loomis's daughter. I love Dewey in this movie. It's David Arquette's best performance of the franchise, in my opinion. I like Jack Quaid, who kind of has that Stu kind of vibe to him. Rest of the characters are kind of just stock, stereotype horror characters that are just there to be killed. They don't really add too much to it. The only thing that is knocking this movie down to number 3 from number 2 is the last 10 to 15 minutes. The killer reveal, and not so much the reveal itself. It's the fact that the killers were so easy to pick out as soon as within 10 minutes of the movie, and this movie didn't really like string you along. It didn't really like give you like little red herrings like as strong as the other 4 in my opinion throughout. Like, maybe it isn't this guy. Maybe it could be or this girl. It could be something else. It could be somebody else. There wasn't like strong vibes with that in this movie. And the last 10 to 15 minutes, the killer reveal and their motives, and how they didn't really like weave Sydney and Gail into the story in a better way, is the only thing that knocks it down from 3 to 2. Maybe I'll be able to from 2 to 3. I mean, maybe after I watch it a few more times, I'll be able to look past that and it'll go up to number 2. But as of right now, nah, I can't do it. I much prefer, well, not much prefer, but slightly prefer number 2 above this one. Number 3, not a bad spot. It was a fun movie. I didn't hate it, but I think number 3 is a good spot for it. My number 2 is Scream 4. I'm always surprised by how much I enjoy this movie every time that I watch it. It's not one that I watch often, but every time I end up putting it on when I go through the Scream franchise, I always go, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I think Sydney is far better in this one than she is in 2 and 3. I really like Dewey and Gail in this one, even though Dewey's just kind of there. He doesn't really like have a significant role, not in my opinion anyway. I like Gail in the movie, how she's not this fame-seeking, narcissistic, money-hungry, cheap news anchor anymore. She actually wants to help solve the murders. I like some of the side characters. I like Hayden Panettiere's character, and even Emma Roberts, who plays Sydney's cousin. She has a significant role in the movie. Ghostface. Sorry. I think the kills are brutal. It's Wes Craven's last Scream movie, as well as Kevin Williamson. Overall, a big step up from the third one, and even the second one, in my opinion. This may drop down to number 3 after I watch the new one a few more times. But right now, this one's got a comfortable spot here at number 2. And of course, my number 1 is Scream, the first one. Are you shocked? Are you? You shouldn't be. I don't think you are. A milestone horror movie in the 90s, revitalized slasher movies. They were pretty much dead up to this point. It's got a great cast, great story, intense, scary opening. The Ghostface reveal is the best in the franchise in my opinion, and it makes the most sense in my opinion. The Billy and Stu teaming up together. Billy's motives are the fact that Sydney's mom banged his dad, and she was the reason that Billy's mom moved out and abandoned him. Even Stu kind of had this look on his face like he didn't know that. So I really like how they wove that into the story. The score is not the best. The kills aren't the best. But of course, it's a milestone horror movie. It is the slasher movie for the 90s. I'm a 90s kid, so I gotta put this at number 1. I don't know what else. There's not too much I can add to it. It's Scream. You guys know Scream, especially if you're watching this channel. My name is MercilessGhostie, for God's sakes. If you don't know Scream by now, I don't know what to say. I got an in-depth review on it. If you want to see that, go check it out. It's number 1 by far. Not by far, but got quite a bit of a margin between the rest of the movies. 2 and 3 are kind of close, but this one's sitting pretty comfortably at number 1. It's going to take a pretty kick-ass Scream movie to dethrone this one. Number 1, that's where it's going to stay. But I would love to hear your guys' ranking. Is yours similar to mine? Is the new one your favorite? Is Scream 4 your favorite? By some shocking miracle, is Scream 3 your favorite? I know some people really like that movie, but I'm not one of them. Or do we have similar rankings? I would love to know. Comment below and let me know. If you're new, please consider liking and subscribing. Help the channel grow. It's a group effort. The more people that like, comment, and subscribe brings more traffic. It will recommend this video to new people. So I really appreciate it if you would do that. Just as simple as a click of a button and simply typing out a sentence. Let me know your ranking. And you can follow me on social media at MercilessGhostie on Instagram. Everywhere else where you can find me will be down in the description below. So that's going to wrap up the Scream series for now until we get new movies. It was a fun ride. I really enjoyed it with you guys. Stay tuned for more Ghostface content coming soon. This may be the end of the Scream content for now, but it's not the end of the Ghostface content, that's for sure. Stay tuned for that as well as many other things coming soon. I'll see you guys soon. Hope you'll have a good day. Peace.